is Hannah. I am the youngest child out of three. I have two older brothers, one named Michael and the other Vince. Michael is 12 years older than me, and Vince is 9.5 years older than me. I was born in the Philippines, and our family moved to Canada when I was just 1 year old, 23 months to be exact. Anyway, while we were in the Philippines, my best friend was a girl a few days younger than me named Danica. Two of my cousins, Alex and Romel, who are around the age of my brothers, would always spend time with my brothers. The four of them were crazy together. They would disobey rules, get into troubles all the time, and more. I was told some pretty crazy stories of when Vince and Alex were supposed to take care of me. For example, one time he was just supposed to watch out for me while I was in my crib. Of course, he got bored, and when Alex came over, the two of them forgot about me and started playing a card game. Next thing they knew, I was working my way up the crib, and then crash! I fell from the top of the crib to the ground and started wailing. Instead of taking care of me, they ran away because they knew what would happen if Grandma found out. A hard spank. Another time, one of my brothers was supposed to be taking care of me. We were outside. I was a little older then, however, so I was crawling around. While my brother was playing with one of our cousins, I started crying. This time, he found me on top of an anthill, and mind you, these are red ants, the ones that sting. Even now they're painful, so how much more for a 1-year-old? Anyway, he ran again because of Grandma. Y'all might be thinking, what a terrible big brother. But I have to admit, it was partly my fault. I could have stayed out of trouble. But what can I say except I wouldn't be myself if I stayed out of trouble. On August 29, 2007, our adventures in the Philippines were over. We boarded the airplane, headed to Narita, Japan, then from Narita to Vancouver, BC. We arrived in our new home in Southeast Canada on September 1, 2007. I literally don't remember anything from when we first came, but I was told a few things, like coming from a warm tropical place, Canada was freezing to us, even though it was just fall. And I would always get spanked for taking off my shoes since I wasn't used to wearing shoes and socks in the Philippines. Even though I kept getting time out and a few hundred spanks, however, I never really learned my lesson. Shocker. Anyway, about a month after we arrived in our village, another Filipino family arrived. We were the only two Filipino families at the time, so we became really close. They had two boys, one 2 years older than me, and the other a month older than me. The three of us became really good friends, for a little bit, and always spent time together. About a year later, our neighbors adopted a Filipina girl. She is 2 years older than me, and we were best friends for a long time. We would make snow forts together, play with animals together, and even do our chores together. My best friends who have stayed with me from the start till now, however, are my brothers. They would take me out to dinner as an encouragement for me in school, a night drive after a hard day, and sometimes just randomly invite me to go with them on town trips. Well, before the girls came, that is. Both are now married. Michael and his wife Connie have an adorable 8-week daughter named Talia. And Vince and his wife Elsie, who just happens to be Connie's younger sister, just got married last August. I am currently in 9th grade and 14 years old. I have 4 classmates, and we are all doing our courses from the Ron Paul curriculum except science. For science, we have a course by Dr. J.L. Weil, which we have been doing since 4th grade. Fortunately, our crew gets along. Well, most of the time at least. My friends, the 2 girls in our class, and I don't exactly think alike when it comes to songs, and other stuff which does not need to be mentioned, so we get into debates that go on for a few months, or even a few years. Just last December, I got a big sister. She came from the Philippines and is getting married to someone we know. They asked if she could stay with us until her wedding, which would be about 7 months. As you know, I have 2 older brothers, and I have solidly proven that having a sister is so different from having 2 older brothers. I can't say which one is better though, because they each have their pros and cons. But I can say I am so blessed to have her as my big sister, even if we're not sisters by blood. During the winter, my hobbies are sledding, snowmobiling, playing basketball, soccer, and volleyball with Austin, snowboarding, and playing my violin. Oh yeah, and photography. It has been so long since I last went outside for an hour or so just sledding or boarding up and down a hill, and I'd forgotten how much fun it is. I don't go down very normally, however, so I usually end up falling off and watching my sled go flying down the hill. But something about falling always makes me happy. I love doing epic fails, then just lying in the snow roaring with laughter. I can say the same for snowboarding. I was trained with skis, but about 3 years ago, I decided to try boarding. It was hard at first. I fell every few feet, and then I would just lie in the middle of the slope for a few minutes. I think I've improved a bit, but I still fall all the time, although half the time is because I'm doing something stupid. Snowmobiling is like wheeling, but in the winter for me. I do it for the same reason. I'm not trying to get my exercise, but I want to be outside and do something somewhat exciting. Although the only snowmobile I actually use is my brother's, and I'm not allowed to use it alone, which I hate to admit is probably the best. So I haven't learned any cool tricks, sadly. I mentioned in another speech that I nearly quit playing the violin one time. However, ever since I picked up my violin, after making the choice to continue, I felt an unexplainable bond that I knew would never leave. I have finally learned to not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. When it comes to my violin, at least. Austin is the best pal I could ask for. He's like a human being who I can always talk to without feeling judged. He puts a paw on me when I'm crying and bears with my craziness when I'm happy. 3 ball games we like playing together are basketball, soccer, and volleyball. I have a taped up soccer ball for soccer. We use a balloon for volleyball, and we go to the gym for basketball. Don't worry, he can't pop the ball because his mouth is way too small, so he just catches it with his paws. Tries, at least. That is my lesson 75 speech for the Ron Paul curriculum, 9th grade speaking class. Thanks for watching.